Raila has written a formal letter addressing his concerns to South African opposition leader Julius Malema over his remarks that were directed to him. Julius Malema had warned Raila to stop sabotaging the Kenyan government, saying Ruto was democratically elected as Kenya's president. He said this, and I quote, "To Comrade Raila Odinga in Kenya, stop what you are doing to President Ruto. Give him space and allow him to govern." Angry Raila response reads like this, and I read, "My attention has been drawn to comments by the leader of South Africa's Economic Freedom Fighters Party, Comrade Julius Malema, asking Kenya's Azimio Coalition and ODM party leader His Excellency Right Honorable Raila Odinga to stop the protest and stop disrupting Kenya, adding that he will not allow Honorable Raila to disrupt peace in Kenya. It is clear that Comrade Malema, watching Kenya from a distance, is not familiar with the delicate socio-political fault lines in our nation, and makes the faulty assumption that this approach in fighting injustices in South Africa can be replicated here. If he was seized of the fact, he would know that Kenya is largely a dictatorship falsely basking in the sun of democracy, in which nearly all elections since 2007 have been fraudulent, and when the wrong president has been sworn in each time, it is a far cry from South Africa's strong multi-party democracy, where we have witnessed the ruling party even recall presidents and end their terms when they no longer represent the aspiration of South Africans. More importantly, Comrade Malema's own FFF prides itself as a far-left movement for the economic emancipation of South Africans from decades of oppression. Logically, the EFF has more in common with our Azimio Coalition and all the Orange Democratic Movement than with the current far-right and oppressive capitalistic regime in Kenya. Indeed, if Comrade Malema had bothered to look beyond the Kenya Kwanza regime propaganda, he would know that the recent protests in Kenya were against obscenely high taxes, rising cost of living, and the government refusal to listen to the people. I have no doubt that if Malema was Kenyan, his Red Army would have joined us in their numbers on the streets, similar to what they recently did in South Africa. I drew Comrade Malema attention to the historic liberation in Africa, in which, when the African National Congress fought the demonic apartheid regime, most of Africa, without equivocation, stood with the liberation heroes of the ANC. Today, neo-colonialism, perpetuated by dictators who were never in the liberation struggle, is ravaging Africa. It behoves modern-day liberation forces to speak with one voice against the new apartheid and colonialism practiced by our own black rulers. Comrade Malema enjoys the enviable luxury of living in a country where all post-apartheid presidents have come from the ranks of liberators. Nelson Mandela, Thabo Mbeki, Jacob Zuma, and Cyril Ramaphosa are all inspirational figures in the freedom movement on our continent. I am certain that if Comrade Malema lived in a nation perennially led by collaborators and former home guards, thieves and liars, who not only steal election at will, but routinely set police to shoot unarmed civilians in a reenactment of South Africa's own Sharpeville massacre of 1960 or the Marikana massacre of 2012, he would hold different views. As the ODM party, we extend an invitation to Comrade Malema to visit Kenya so that we can personally take him on a tour of our country, so that he understands that we fight for the same things he does. In fact, Kenya's own quest for a people-driven constitutional framework has always looked up to South Africa's strong party foundations and structures to dilute our oppressive winner-take-all presidential system. We still have a lot to learn from them as they do from us, while at it, we acknowledge, as our founding fathers and liberation heroes did, that we only achieve the true justice and freedom by fighting for it and not sitting in our rulers. That is what Comrade Malema is doing in South Africa, and that is what we are doing in Kenya. That's the end of Raila's statement to Julius Malema.
A senior son of Africa and a global diplomat to oversee a peaceful resolution to the crisis here in our country. 5, we take note that Kenya Kwanza is trying to deny His Excellency Obasanjo's presence and leadership of the talks. That would be a very unfortunate development indeed. It points to Kenya Kwanza now institutionalizing the culture of deceit and taking it to the global stage. They denied the presence of President Suluhu here a few weeks ago, and now they want to deny the presence of His Excellency Obasanjo. Number 6, while we remain committed to dialogue with Kenya Kwanza for a speedy and sustainable solution to the country's problems, our issues have not changed.